Again, we got to figure out something.
Yeah. I'm a fact finder, and I'll remind you, believe when I say I researched this all day, but we are two-sided parts.
We are.
You need to rebut.
I do.
All I say with all of your ragings. Tell me why I got hair and ginger pubes. Tell me why you bitch and moan, it's all you do. Now it's time to get drunk and go on stereo.
Hell yeah.
That's the two-sided way. That's the two-sided way.
And I always forget the last verse. It's time to get drunk and go on stereo. And folks, that is a perfect time to just have a shot. Shall we?
I think we shall. And in honor of the day, some Jameson for our
nice.
shots.
In honor of the day, I'm drinking Sailor Jerry. In honor of our shots.
In honor of the day, you know, the one that ends in the word day.
You know, all those ones that end in Y, I'm ready to drink. Here we go, baby. Woo! Cheers.
Launch it.
Oh. Yeah, oh, that's good. Oh, that's real good. Oy. Oh, God. Well, I guess this is happening. Ooh. Okay.
So, break a leg. I just opened a show for the first time in a little while, and Mr. V asked, where does break a leg come from? So there are a couple of different theories. Two of the most commonly accepted ones are one from vaudeville, where they would book many acts, overbook the ability of how many acts they would be able to have for that night. But if one act was not ready, the next one was up. And so if you were booked, but you thought you might not go on, then you would still stick around. And people would tell you, hey, break a leg, because the leg of the stage is the wings that you would be breaking, literally opening up to go on stage. That was one. And two, the leg is also the curtain that would go up and down. And if, you would stay there for the applause. And sometimes you would have 7 curtain calls. You would have 7 applauses, and the leg would go up and down and up and down. And if it did it too many times, it literally would break.
Right. That's what I heard, because it's a term of theater. We learned that in stagecraft with
history of theater.
History of theater with it wasn't Cray. I didn't take it from Cray. I took it from
Trish.
Yeah. And so that's where I learned about all the little different things, and like, oh, this is the leg, and these are the wings, and this is the scrim, and this is the proscenium, and this is like, oh, okay, stage left, stage right, all the basics of like, oh, okay,
this is upstage, this is downstage.
Yeah, this is my raisin. These are your raisins.
And they call it upstage and downstage because the old stages used to be actually raked, and so downstage would literally be further down than backstage. Yeah.
Right, and because really interesting, because we understood the problem that, like, oh, big audiences, people can't see the actors, so instead of raising the audience, we raised the stage and like, hey, everybody. And so you're performing on like a K2. Like, I was going to go out for Hamlet, but I can't ski the double black diamond. So I'm kind of out until I get my fucking snowplow together.
That's right. So, man, you want to start the show?
Well, God damn it. I showed up here. I had a drink. We might as well do something.
Well, howdy.
Well, howdy. Bitch. guessing at some point you're going to figure out a way to enter in more didgeridoo and kazoo into the show. Like, okay, we're going to have a closing music of me playing a didgeridoo in a kazoo warehouse near the didgeridoo outlet. It's going to be awful. I don't like what's happening. Also, your eye makeup is very off-putting. I just want you to know it's super good. Like, you look very dramatic. Go ahead.
I'm John L. Peacock, currently in Michigan. This is my boy Pete out in Southern California, and you're listening to Two-Sided, where every episode I challenge Pete with a bit of the two sides of life, the fun and the serious.
Yeah, the right and the wrong, baby. I challenge you right back. It's the me and the you, and one day you will learn, or you've already learned, and you continue to learn, and you continue to propagate these lies. Just
Either way, I'm in.
Well, thanks for that, Pete and John. I feel like I've actually learned something today, which is unusual for you guys to teach me something. I feel like I'm glad I've actually learned that now. And now whenever it turns up in trivia that I never go to, I'll be like, oh, I did know that once. I can't fucking remember what it was. And that's how that will be for forevermore.
At any point, if anyone else gets it wrong, you know what? I should have known that. You should have called me. I remember that, but I don't. What we call those little facts, refer to them as Cliff Clavenisms. It's the small. It's like the kid in Jerry Maguire. He's like, dogs and bees smell fear. Well, you know the human head weighs 7 pounds 8 ounces. You know that, right?
That's a well-known fact there, Normie. That.
Hey, So, Normie. Hey, exactly. Cliff Clavenisms of the day, John.
That's right. We got another one.
Oh, yeah, he's going to find a way to get more didgeridoo in there. He's going to be like,
Yeah.
it's time for our lightning round. But to introduce us to our lightning round is the new theme song. And it's of a local Aboriginal fellow in Australia. Not Mr. V, because Mr. V ain't black. Oh, that's racist.
Wow.
Somebody who can make a lightning sound on the didgeridoo.
I love him. I fucking love him. Like, he would be a homie if we lived within like 10, 15 miles of it. If he was in Southern California, if I was, I don't know the neighborhoods. If I was in the Outback, like, we would be like, fucking, you want to hang out? You want to chop it up? What's up? What's going on, baby? But also, I was thinking in that same, he's going to introduce lightning rounds with didgeridoo, but he's also like, you know what? We're going to have special guests, and we want to have people to really broaden our horizons and really bring in some new content and new thoughts. And so the first group I'm having it's the Down Under National Didgeridoo Champions of Australia. They're going to play their greatest hits as we talk about them. God damn it, John.
I think it's a win-win. I think that's 100% a win-win right there.
Can we just get a cricket player or two? Let's do it. Let's start with a rugby or something.
Yeah. Lacrosse?
Mm-hmm. Water polo, except all their horses drown.
That's right. Yeah. Marco. Speaking of horses drowning, it's time for our first lightning round.
Sounds like a trash can, but still is lightning. Let's answer some questions. Okay. Yeah.
I have myself a nice poured Guinness, and I think we're ready to go. Yeah.
I do believe we are correct. I have a cocktail and a shot, and all the accoutrements standing by. So yes, let's do this.
Well, anyone who's anyone knows that our first lightning round of the evening is always a standard Q&A. My boy Pete, are you ready for your questions?
I am ready for my questions, John L. Peacock. Let's do this.
Fantastic.
Kick this pig and make it squeal.
Concerts or recorded music with friends? Concerts or recorded music with friends?
Ooh. That's a tough one. I was like, that's super easy. No, it's not. Because you want to automatically say fucking concerts. But then you go back like, oh, I've been to some concerts of like, oh, they've been good, but like the music wasn't great or the experience wasn't great or there's been like bullshit there, like something like you're not assured a good time when you go to a live concert, even your favorite band. But with hanging out with your friends, listening to your favorite music, like talking shit, having cocktails is always 100%. Yeah. And there's always one person who's like, no, dude, you can't play Matchbox 20. No, stop it. Enough. No, Creed is off the list. You are fucking banned.
Take that away from him.
You know what, John? I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm gonna say music with friends because I'm gonna say that.
Okay. So for since you thought about concerts for a bit, I'll ask this next question. For concerts, what is your ideal situation?
Oh, my ideal, my favorite.
Yeah.
Like of all the things, like, because you can go to a show at like down at the Roxy, or that's a specific club, and like you're going to a show to this club. Yeah. Here is the set bars, the set establishment. There's going to be an opener, the headliner, and you're done. And you pray shit doesn't pop off, right?
That's right.
It's like,
yeah,
I don't know where I'm going or who's here. Like, and that's good. But if it's a good band, and like, there's certain places that I like to go, but there's like other venues because their security can be shit, their drinks can be shit, or their flow of traffic of how they get to the bars and how they get to the concert venue. You know what I mean? Because it's just that logistics. Once you get more than 100, 200, 300 people, logistically, you need to be able to move. That's why I was always wanted to be a city planner, John. But go ahead.
I was going to say, let's say that you've won the grand prize. You get the perfect band at the perfect venue, and you get like the VIP status. So let's go super ideal. Let's go almost like unknown ideal. What would it be? Like, how big would be the venue specific if you want? And what would be the concert itself?
It would be. I would do a festival. I would do because especially here in Southern California, there's tons of like every radio station sponsors one. Every promoter out here has one. It's like, oh, here's like some underground stuff or some heavy things or some hip hop or some trance or whatever, like literally whatever you want to get into. You can have a day and there's going to be like 6 bands or 6 groups, at least two different stages. And in between the 2 stages there's just like areas to like look through booths and like hang out on the grass because you paid for the whole thing. So my ideal would be to be VIP status at a music festival where you're not all the way crowded in. I would want it to be, honestly, it would be Joshua Tree. There's no good venues up there.
Yeah.
But the idea of there's the Joshua Tree Music Festival, which people, and the Bhakti Fest, which people fly in from like literally all over the world. I met a cat from Australia there. I met a few people from Sweden. Like, yeah, there was tons of people who flew in specially, but it's like
that's freaking right on. That's awesome.
To be able to have carte blanche and do whatever you want to do and have VIP status, have air conditioning, have a shower, have a bathroom, have good cocktails, and somewhere to sit with a view.
Yeah.
Those are the things out at a festival outdoor event. That would be my like, I would pay like looking at like Coachella. Going to Coachella now is fucking ridiculous.
Yes, it is.
It's miserable. Like you will not have a good time. It's just,
and you will pay crowded, way too much for it.
Way too much. And then like, if you don't have the money, you're gonna get sick and dehydrated and have heat stroke. And it's like, oh, $6 a bottle of water. I'm like, yeah, but who drinks water? Oh yeah, it's just $22 a beer. Jesus Christ!
But who drinks beer?
Who drinks beer? I'm so glad I keistered all these balloons full of vodka. Who wants to drink? Woo!
Oh, apparently they all have their own mixer in them now. Oh,
right. I'm the Lord. Lord made his prison pockets. Who am I to say not use them?
I call them the dirty Russians. Here we go.
Yeah. Yeah. So like that's the thing is like if I could go to Coachella, but you look at like people out there. Because there's tons of famous, like every year there'll be celebrities who are at Coachella in the crowd. Yep. And it's like, they're just as miserable as everyone else.
Yep.
They have to stand in line there. And like, it's cool to be part of this group, but it's like, fuck, man. You pay like $150 to get in for the day. It takes you an hour and a half to get from where you're parked at to the venue. Security's bullshit. Then all the prices are ridiculous, and it's 120. Like, okay, be outside. There's no shade. There's like, whew. Yeah. So if there was a VIP, like, okay, here's your personal trailer or your like VIP booth overlooking that's air conditioned with like
mist, with misting and air conditioning,
right. and all the missile pops you can eat. The good humor guy is right here if you need him, and he's ready to fist fight the Schwann's man for your attention. This is great. I'm in.
For recorded music, your first choice, ideal platform, streaming, CDs, records. What set up the music with friends scenario?
If I have to be in charge, it's streaming because I don't. Especially if we're hanging out, like my hand-eye coordination is going to get a little less specific.
Yeah, makes sense.
I would like to have vinyl on to like put it in vinyl like turntable, like, oh, here's some good jams and like. But at that point, like unless someone else is in charge, and like, oh, here's one, like putting things on, like you get me for about 10 minutes of like, yep, and that nope, can't do anything.
Yeah.
Should I put the lid down? What do these do? No. Know your limits, my friend.
All right.
Know your limits.
Finally, best concert moment or experience?
Probably my favorite. I got VIP backstage passes for the Weenie Roast in like, shit, it was like 2004. No, it was a while ago, 2004. But I got to go backstage and I met Pink, which was like, oh, cool. I'm like, hey, how's it going? Because I was with, well, you're not from Southern California, the K-Rock 106.7 now. They sponsor the Weenie Roast. It's all the like indie rock bands. And so one of the dudes I was working with was good friends with the producer of the show. So we're hanging out with him and he's talking to Pink. He's like, hey, what's up? How's it going? I was like, hey. Oh. But then, bro, I got to meet the Transplants. And that was like, nice. Fuck yeah. And that was badass. There's a picture somewhere with me, my Chris Walker, that you know him, you met him. He took a picture of me with the Transplants. So I was like, you got to send it to me. And it didn't happen. Or maybe it did. I don't know. Anyway, but it fucking happened, John. That was my best concert.
It happened because you were drunk. You're like, how is someone sending a picture of me? Block this person.
Yeah. And I broke my phone. I was like, they're coming for us. Blue team, go. They're in the trees. Yeah. So it was like, and that was a great concert because we had pretty much like front, like 3 rows back seats at the main stage, like ticketed.
Yeah.
But it got fucking nuts as soon as it got dark, and it's like people are like all over the place. Like, all right, okay, if you want to be in it, you can. But at that point, it's like, you know what? I'm just going to go backstage and watch from back there because this is getting a little rough. And probably use their bathroom and have some air conditioning. And that was like, yeah. Yeah.
Did you go number 1 or number 2?
I was so excited I went number 2 right then and there when they said, here's your pass. Somebody's gonna.
I went number 1 in their bathroom.
It's right. Is there a family station? Because somebody's gonna change me. We got to come in. I'm super excited. Ooh.
I'm boom excited.
Folks, we're looking to adopt. The two-sided is going to adopt a child, and John is going to teach them all the lingo.
Here we go. We got some messages.
You know what you guys remind me of a lot of the time? If you ever watch the American version of Whose Line Is It Anyway? Now, obviously they got Aisha Tyler as the host. Before that was Drew Carey.
Right.
They have
the British one though too.
Ryan
Stiles. Colin. Yep.
Do that thing where they're an infomercial for the greatest hits track of some random band they've made up and some random track names. It's like, if you sign up now for $33.95, you can get 62 hours of the greatest hits.
Exactly.
And you guys remind me of that. Oh,
exactly.
Do that, like I pick things from like a Whose Line Is It Anyway sort of thing and just fucking roll with it. That'd be great.
I'm saying the whole thing of all the things that they do, which is beautiful, but all the things they do are theater games that John and I have played. We've played every one of those at either in classes or at theater camp or at where there's weird fucking crazy, like, let's have a theater birthday party. And then we're like, let's play games. Like, this is the worst party I've ever been to. I have to improv my way out of this. It's kind of awesome, but shit. People think I'm funny, but I'm not drunk, so I don't like it.
Dude, yeah, Ryan Stiles and Colin Mockery, they are amazing improv duo.
Oh yeah, I feel like their shit is like almost, they're on the same level, like the top middle just to Schwartz, of how the idea, and like John, you understand. It's like when you do a show with someone, and there's like, you can get into a vibe, you can get to a groove with someone. It's like, okay, cool. I have this part for you. I have this thing. And it kind of goes beyond that. There's like, you are going to pick up what I put down. Like we are on the same wavelength of just whoa. And there's very few people complete trust happens in that moment. And you don't have to work with it. And it's not anything, but it's like, and that is, improv is so hard to come by because it's like, someone takes a hard left, like Jesus Christ, which is hilarious if it's intended. If they're trying to wreck you and you're like, you son of a bitch. Oh, go on. Like I did shows with this dude Steve Johnson. He was a great actor, a great singer, older dude, big fat guy who drove truck. And he just retired. He was an amazing actor. But you get on stage with him, and if you were on stage with any scenes with him and you were good friends, he would fuck with you. He was word perfect, line perfect, but he would add something or like moo, moo, and if you were not on your toes, whew, and it was that kind of thing. It's like, yeah, baby, yeah.
Could I please get a cone with a flake? That's all, thank you.
Can I please get a flake with this guy's cone? Jesus Christ.
admit, Wayne Brady is pretty bloody fucking impressive as well with some of the shit he comes out with. All those three guys as the mains on that show, they're fucking fantastic. But they're getting so old, and it's like, if they're old, makes me feel old. Because I remember when they were old and I was young, and now they're even older.
Oh God! Well, I got to bring up life expectancy goals and things in this. Like, listen, I pulled out. I was doing some cleaning this week. I found my birth certificate. Turns out it has an expiration date, so I'm working against time, Mr. V. Don't bring that up. Old is,
And you got to throw.
It ain't nothing but a number, baby. That's what I tell all my dates.
Greg Proops, got to bring him in as the to round it on out.
Yeah, Proops is good.
So you want to talk about some serious stuff?
I mean, if we're done with the lightning round, because that was, I blame St. Patrick's Day. I blame the lack of steaks on the Emerald Isle for the deviation that this show has taken.
Let's grab this message, then we'll jump into it.
And I haven't even announced.
Yeah, age is just a number, but so is your date. It's like, I'm a 3 and you're an 11.
Hey, if an 18 will get you 15 to 20. That's what I heard. Folks, let's do a shot. But again, John, we need to have a script and a thing and an intro and a sliding thing. Hey, folks, we're live on YouTube right now. And if you like what you see, if you fear what you've heard, if you can't believe the smell that's coming through to you right now, hit that subscribe, hit that alert button. The YouTube link is in our stereo broadcast for anyone who's listening. So if you want to see a ginger peacock, if you want to see a ginger peacock in a goddamn Scotsman beret that has nothing to do with Ireland, and if you want to see a bonneted Pete with a giant beard, click in. Go ahead.
Two-sided podcast. That's our channel.
Right. But
podcast. TWO Two-sided podcast.
Correct. That's what I was saying. Anyone who's watching YouTube right now is already there. Anyone who's on stereo can look above us and see that it says Two-Sided Podcast and click that link, John.
So anyone who's listening to this as a pre-record in the podcast can go to Two-Sided Podcast for our YouTube channel and watch us there.
And anyone who wants to be friends with John, because I'm just goddamn done with it, and follow us there. Cheers, baby. Woo!
Ooh.
Okay. All right. Okay, we got one more.
All right, so I've been thinking about this for quite some time now. I think every time that you do a shot, or that you say, let's do a shot, you should have a sound effect that goes, whoop.
I agree. I actively agree. And it should be a sound, like he said, it should not be a sound of a didgeridoo. This is not your opportunity. Like, let's do a shot. God damn it. It's like an elephant mating. This is awful. Who can sleep with this noise? But no. I definitely think we should have some sort of a time for a shot.
Right.
Something. Let's get a sound effects board and we're gonna figure it out.
That's right.
John, I feel like I'm sufficiently. I think my blood alcohol level is right about the point where I need to listen to something serious from you to try and even it out. It's either that or drink or eat lots of bread by itself, maybe mustard for flavor. But I'll listen to your antics and it'll sober me right up. It's like talking to the cops or talking to your parents. Shit. This is no good. Go ahead, John. We're all ears.
So this segment, first major segment of the night, is live performances in the pandemic. Now, I want to give a little preamble to this. I was expecting to go into this and have a quick two parts of this one segment in this one episode. The first one being concerts and live music. The second one being live theater. Well, turns out there's so much information about both, I had to split it into two parts. This is a little different. You might have heard about part one segments that we've presented before. I've done that because I expected I would normally talk about it again in the future, but I wasn't going to immediately follow up. This, I went in wanting to do one part, and I can't. There's too much. So next week, you will actually get the follow-up immediately, which is unusual for two-sided. So
no, I know, 100%. And don't even say two-sided, say John L. Peacock, because we were so excited about fucking Dublin, about the fucking Zippy's like, when are we doing it? Belfast, like, yeah, and John is like, I don't know, I got the Scottish hat on now. I've got no time for him. I've got no time for him. I've got none here. John, why are you okay? So live performances during the pandemic, John. And here's the thing. Like, I know you did a lot of research. I know you have two parts, but I'm going to go ahead and proffer something right now because you said concerts. You said concerts and
live music.
Live music
is one,
is one, and plays are another. What about, and these are live performances. What about live sex acts? Like, what about Amsterdamians? What about the live sex shows? Is that a thing? How are they getting along? I just want to make sure all our bases are covered.
Great. So that's going to be part 3. We're going to do the miscellaneous live performances in the sexual variety.
Oh no, it doesn't have to be sexual, John. Don't be weird. It's just all the things you're not catching. It was just, hey, we're sex workers. That's what we are. Also, it's the catch-all.
Sexual.
It's the catch-all, right? Nothing on the mouth. Nothing on the mouth. Nope. Don't look in the eye. Okay. But it's the catch-all, and no, it's not going to be a third part. It's going to be in our Patreon, or it's going to be. If you send us emails at twosidedpod@gmail.com, that's TWO-sidedpod@gmail.com, with your phone number, we will text you our rantings and ravings over the phone. No problem. That's a given.
Sign up now.
Sign up now.
Part 1.
Hey, God damn it, before we go, MFA, how you doing? I hope you feel better, girl.
Doing?
Hey, I'm so glad. Hey, we got you. You're gonna see this motherfucking show, and it's gonna be better because John is not even sure he's wearing a Scottish hat. I think the show was fucking implicated by that. But however, I digress. Sorry, MFA, how you doing?
Guys, how you doing?
How you doing?
How you
feeling?
Feeling like crap, but I'm still alive, so I'm still the side of the daisies. John, I'm super happy to hear that the show went well. Very sad I could not be there. I will be there eventually, I promise.
I know it.
How you doing, Pete? Hello, gallery. How you doing?
You'll be a woman soon, girl. You'll be a woman. Okay, I think that's all we have to say.
Yeah. And if you had done it right, it would have been better. But anyway, part 1.
Yeah, same with you and the Irish Scottish hat.
And live music. Listen, there are many Scotsmen who come out in their full garb, their full Titans, to celebrate.
Right. I wore red, white, and blue all day today because to celebrate Ireland. John, wear your kilt and shut the fuck up and read your goddamn part 1.
Concerts and live music. In December 2020, Rolling Stone magazine article posed the question, after a bruising 10 months of COVID shutdown, live music businesses, not to mention artists and fans, are hoping concerts and tours can return in the spring of 2021. But is it a pipe dream? So live music, along with live theater, was one of the first industries to be brought to a screeching halt as the pandemic hit early 2020. And as vaccines were announced but had yet to be rolled out, concerts still seem to be one of the last industries to see a return.
Well, yeah. Well, okay. I feel like we need to do a preface to this show, because you got to realize that Ticketmaster and Live Nation are the ones to blame. And now we have Live Nation, and you're like, oh, live shows, live this. Live Nation, John. That's a whole other thing.
They have a stranglehold on everything, and there's major outcry, but their stocks have raised, I think, 400% since their merger. So yeah.
It's a monopoly. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if you watched the most recent John Oliver, but he did a thing about that, and he said that the partnership between Ticketmaster, the merger on there, is you cannot get a venue in a contract for the venue as a new band or any band unless you use Ticketmaster. It's part of their contract. And his whole thing was like, in the 90s, when Pearl Jam was the shit. Jeremy Spoken, the shit. Class, the shit today. John, need I say more, Jeremy? No. And they couldn't do it. They fought back, and they couldn't go through and find the venues to find ticketing. They just couldn't. And so and now at this point, it's like, all right, you're a band. You jump through all the fucking fiery hurdles, and you've got a record label contract, and you're trying to get airplay. And like, cool, you got enough that you're going to go on tour. You want to go on tour. And now you have to, there's no other alternative than to battle with these beasts who are now I can't wait to hear what they've done. John, okay, I know this is taking a different turn than you wanted, but
No, you're right. In my research, obviously that came up quite a bit. What I'm looking at is, the COVID hit, but
right.
They took so much advantage of it, like other companies. I mean, whether they want to say, oh, it's just because it is what it is, but Amazon obviously like boomed in so many ways because of the pandemic. There are certain companies that just like blew up, and Ticketmaster, which should have really taken a horrible hit, was able to stay so resilient that they are, they have the stranglehold. They edged out all the little ones that could not stand up to the pandemic, and therefore they with Live Nation coming together are the monopoly. Yeah, no, they're the result, and they're the benefactors of the horrible things that that happened to the industry that we're about to talk about.
So I guess I'm gonna go ahead and jump forward, and I'm gonna let you finish. I'm gonna let you finish, but I'm gonna jump forward and say, I guess my answer was listening to music at home with friends was the best answer. Continue, John.
So after that December article, a few months later in March 2021, Rolling Stone answered its own question. Most large-scale concerts and tours in the U.S. cannot return until 2022. If you can't do Swiss cheese routing, if it's got holes in it because certain states haven't opened up, it's not going to work, says one live music executive. But later that year, with the vaccines really starting to take a strong hold, pre-Delta especially, May 2021. Outdoor venues began to open back up, including Red Rocks Park and Amphitheater. That outdoor venue reopened in May of that year with limited capacity and 4 nights of shows from the band called Lotus. Several smaller and outdoor concert venues started to open up and offer limited capacity shows with the hopes of finding attendees who felt the same. Anecdotally, these venues say that they were having an easy time filling the seats they were able to offer. We haven't got a single show that we have put on sale that hasn't blown right away, says spokesman Brian Kitt of Red Rocks, which is located near Morrison, Colorado, one of the iconic outdoor venues.
Yeah, bro. Yes, like literally, actually, specifically, figuratively, all of the Elise. I promise you, once, like, if you were back when we got locked down, say 1 month in the lockdown where people are fucking freaked out and everyone's like, whoa, there's nothing. I promise you, if Red Rocks would have been like, we're going to do a show they could have filled up.
Right.
There's enough people who either don't care, don't understand, or don't know enough to, like, we have this such broad range across the world, but the US, like, we're a special goddamn breed, because we're armed and we're privileged. And we got all the answers and all the problems to give ourselves. So I'm just saying, baby, it doesn't matter. Yeah, of course, Red Rock's like, we're filled up every time. Yeah, you can see comedy shows, bullshit comedy shows in Newport are like, yeah, full house. As soon as things open, full house everywhere. Like,
yep.
All right. And all they needed to do was have that clearance to open, which is like, cool, man. If you're cool with that and they're cool with that and everyone's cool with that, it's like,
the state's cool with that. Right.
Yeah. It's just like, great. That's fantastic. That's like, it's you're a sex worker at that point. It's not, you're fine. Like, it's all, everyone's approving and consenting adults. Do whatever you want to do. Carry on, my wayward son.
So looking at Red Rock, which is a city-owned venue, it lost about $52 million in 2020. The spokesman who was speaking before, Kits, says nobody saw this coming. On any given night, we got 400 people working in the venue, and all those jobs were gone just overnight. He said, we will never again take for granted the ability to gather communally and see concert or to go to a sporting event. It was just a shift that had never happened. Like you said, Red Rock, without the pandemic, was always sold out. It's
always.
Destination venue. Venue, right?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. And if you can be blessed enough as a performer to go play there, not only is like, wow, I've kind of made it. It's like going to, like, oh, you're going to go to Radio City Music Hall. Are you going to go to the Bowl in Hollywood?
Hollywood Bowl. Yeah, of course.
It's like those specific, like, oh, Red Rocks. And not only that, but you've made it, you're going to sound amazing. Just like, welcome to the party, bitches. Well, the whole thing, they lost $52 million, John, Red Rocks. So Red Rocks is going to now have to start borrowing Netflix passwords from their moms and dads. Because that's a lot of money to, like, I can't afford. Come on. Stupid. I try my best.
So moving forward to August of 2021, a New York Times article took a personal look at the newly opened indoor concert venues and festivals of that summer into fall, and the hiccups along the way. So quoting it, it was June 21st, the night after the Foo Fighters rechristened Madison Square Garden for its first concert since March of 2020. So over a year being dark, since first time ever with that kind of huge gap in Madison Square's existence, right? The event meant to symbolize the reawakening of New York City's live music business. But the garden is vast, and the West Village Jazz Club is smaller than a Wendy's. So this shift, this look at, like, hey, look, Broadway can open, Madison Square Garden can open. Therefore, the smaller venues that have always been around in New York and other major places, Louisiana, New Orleans, Chicago, et cetera, they're like, oh, look at this big one. Obviously, everyone else is going to do fine, but that could not be the case, right? And so they were still suffering 15 months into the pandemic with this distancing still happening, right?
Well, yeah, but yes, Sean. But if you're going to really dissect that, if you truly look at the venues and the things that were happening, where were the states that were having issues that, oh, they did have a concert and there was an outbreak, and they had a thing, there was an outbreak, versus like, right. Okay, we're having screenings, we're having distancing, there's been some weird shit that. Is this the time? This is the time. NPR Tiny Desk concerts. The Flaming Lips did their show. in individual bubbles. Every single one of them had their own bubble. You can look that up on YouTube. It's a great concert, like all the Tiny Desk concerts. And I highly recommend anyone out there look up NPR Tiny Desk concerts on YouTube. Great, just amazing. But you look at these things, and it's like, all right, there's a show on HBO Go, the last concert in the universe, or last stand up in the universe, or something like that. It's one episode, and it's a chick in New York. It's brilliant, but it's a warehouse drive up where it's like where you'd unload trucks, right?
Yeah.
In the like, roll them up and like have a dock. And she's sitting on the dock on a big scaffolding away with a blowhorn, and people pull up in their cars to the dock. They roll their windows down, and people hold up boom mics, and they try to do stand up and tell her jokes. She's like, "That's dumb. I don't like it. Next." And they drive away. Like, what is happening? Making art in the moment, man. It's just like, it's those little things. And I feel like that has progressed so much, and our ingenuity, our creative, the people who needed to be creative were fucking creative. The people who were greedy found a way to be greedy. Sorry, go ahead. I'm all ears now. I promise you, I'm all ears.
Well, with this big return of indoor venues and kind of a feel of normalcy, the article talks about how the music, the songs were obviously important, but the act itself became just as important. Where sometimes some people, the whole thing is the act. Kiss, right? Guar. But for so many concerts, right? But so many concerts, the act is there, or the jokes are there, but they take second fiddle to the songs. So with this Foo Fighters concert, the frontman Dave Grohl clearly saw himself in the role of cheerleader for live music. And played it up. There's absolutely no uncertainty in Foo Fighters songs of this need to return to stability in a time of great instability. They are weighty and unmeasured, but there's also this comedy show that happened. So Grohl and Tyler Hawkins traded places for a few minutes so Grohl could flex his muscles on the drum kit. And then later brought out Dave Chappelle, who sang Radiohead's Creep, which was shortly after his thing was released. And, he's a beautiful troll. And it was a beautiful moment of him just showing, this is who I am, and it's not like a double down. It is nope, still me, still the exact same one. And it's that live aspect that you can't recreate. That can't happen in a CD. That can't really even fully be understood in a recorded environment. But these live 100%. Moments allow for that, and that's what they were showing that live concerts can offer, where no other form of music media can offer.
Well, no, you're 100% correct. Like, even when you watch a recording of a live show, like you watch, go back and watch Woodstock and all the footage you can find, but it's not the same as being there. Trust me, son, right. I know I was there. Like, I don't even know. But also, avoid the brown acid and the Guinness. John, don't drink the Guinness. The Guinness has gone bad.
Right.
I don't know. But it's those like you said, it's those moments in time. You can listen to it on the live recording, a studio recording on a CD, on a record, which like, oh, you can do the vinyl, and like, oh, I really hear the fidelity. I really get all of it's being there. It's real. No,
I hear people coughing in the audience, so there's something there, right? Yeah.
But it's missing the actual feeling, because as you know, as I know, your favorite concerts, as you go to those concerts and those experiences, it's not just that song, it's not just that band, it's as you go there, it's the culmination of everything. You smell the fucking joint behind you. You you had that fucking pina colada that you're still like, shouldn't have had that. That's a little rough. And like you're burping coconut. Like, this is a beautiful night.
Yeah.
And like you smell clothes. Like it's just like the sensory of that moment. Yeah. Even when you record it on your phone, because like I stopped doing that fucking 10 years ago. Like, woo, best concert, record it. Like, worst idea ever.
Right.
Now I can't play gems. Like, and I can't play my games because all my memory's gone. Like, this means nothing to me. It's all bullshit. And when you watch it, it's like, it's all bullshit. Like, even when it's cool, it's kind of bullshit.
It doesn't take you back there. It doesn't help. Right. Yeah.
Unless someone fell off the stage.
Mushrooms. Right.
Right. Unless Justin Bieber fell into a hole. Unless fucking Great White set another fucking venue on fire. We don't need to record it, John.
Right.
Too soon.
Right.
Too soon. Too soon. Too soon. Too soon.
Two-sided.
Two-sided. At gmail.com. TWO.
Sidedpod.
At gmail.com. Don't mind if we do.
The little bit of irony is that the Foo Fighters were scheduled to perform a similar show in Los Angeles the following week, but had to postpone it because someone in their team contracted COVID-19.
See, bro, that's the thing. It's like, and then you go to play the things, and you go to do the things, and it's like, you're just okay.
Yeah.
See, but no, now we're getting into like, no, but we're not, because it's music during the pandemic. Is that what you said?
Yep.
Music during the lockdown? Pandemic.
Yep.
You can still talk pandemic, right?
Yeah. Pandemic's still happening.
No, it still is. But I look at pandemic a lot like the whole AIDS crisis. But no, bro, except that was like, oh, wear a condom if you're going to fuck somebody. You're going to get the AIDS. I heard. I don't know. I'm only 16.
And now it's you need to wear a mask whenever you have sex, because
so you don't get
that'll help.
And the thing is, I don't believe in masks. I wear a condom whenever I go to the store.
That's right.
I'm missing a step, John.
The less you know,
folks. Buy our merchandise. That's the Less You Know T-shirt coming at you for $19.95. We have them in small and extra, extra, extra large. Nothing in between.
That's it. So there's actually a website dedicated to tracking concerts, tours, and other live music performance disruptions and cancellations due to the virus and its many variants. The website liveforlivemusic.com has a reminder ahead of its vast and continuing list of disruptive live shows. So it starts with, rather than tell you of all events that have been canceled, postponed, or changed due to COVID, this article will track the elongation of the coronavirus concert shutdowns as they continue to develop. We'll keep you updated as the threshold of cancellations continues to move into 2022, to keep you updated on testing, et cetera, et cetera. But to end it, more so than any piece we've ever published, we hope this page becomes irrelevant as soon as possible. Until then, check back to keep tabs on the status of live concerts and events in the era of COVID-19.
Holy shit, man. Well, you know what? That's the thing. I have to give them kudos, because you can't sugarcoat shit. Like all right, this is the thing we're living in. And like, hey, folks, we're going to fix it in the next sprint. Like, hey, I want to end this as soon as I can.
Yep.
Here's what we do. Instead of that bullshit of like blowing smoke up people's asses, or like insisting like, nope, everything's fine. You're like, no, we're playing Near My God to Thee as the ship goes down. But I think we're going to be fine. Put on your life. Like, we're fine. We're fun. It's been a pleasure playing with you. Oh, shit. There's an iceberg over there we can hang on to. This is not a good story. But someone who says like, hey, this is happening. This is the world we live in. This is how I'm trying to get through. This is how our company is trying to get through. The industry, the art, the artists, artisanal bread. I'm kind of hungry.
Artistes.
There we go. I had the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable. It'll happen.
So they're doing their part, knowing that it's not, they became the butchers. They're like, okay, well, someone has to give you the information. We want to make sure you have the information so you don't try to go to a concert that you bought a ticket for and you can't return the ticket because you waited too long, et cetera, et cetera. But with the full understanding, like, we know you don't like this. We don't like this either. But we're going to continue doing it to help you as long as it's
right.
needed.
Well, kind of in the same, well, not in the same, but yes, in the same, but not in the same. But Pearl Jam is going back on tour. I don't know if you saw that.
I did.
They're taking their, and I kind of like, am I going to go see a 90s band that I loved when I was a teenager? Maybe you will. Yeah. I don't know. Because Jeremy spoke in class today, and it was a little out of line. I think we need to go to the principal's office.
So to wrap this up, I got a little of current good news. The Opera Philadelphia announced that its return as early as this fall for its 2022-23 season. And as one of the major opera houses in the U.S., it is sure to be a signal to the smaller houses of opera that opera is indeed coming back. And abroad, outside of the U.S., Canada and the U.K. have just announced this past week that they will again allow live music to be performed in their respective countries. Now, they have both been typically stricter than with social restrictions than the U.S., and these announcements are signs of a broader return of live performances around the world.
I'm 100% with you, and I'm wondering how bad of a role I should play in this, because like maybe this was our chance, our one chance to stomp out opera. Like, folks, if we come together, if we get another pandemic, a different variety, if maybe we just stand up as one voice and yell, "No more opera!" Maybe it'll work. But apparently, nope, they're tenacious as fuck. So
that's right. So yeah, so that's a very brief overview of looking at, especially in the U.S., live music and how it was one of the first shut down, and how it's come back quicker than we thought, especially back in 2020. It has not fully come back across the U.S., obviously not across the world. But
no.
This thing that, like you said, you're like, oh yeah, bad concerts are just sucky, but great concerts stick with you for life. You know,
right.
I know, like you and I, listening to music over what I think there was CDs, right? We were listening to some CDs.
Yeah, CDs
smoking the
back
bowls,
in the day,
getting to know each other, like that. Those were iconic. But most of the time, when I listen to music with friends, it is just something that happens and it washes over me as part of life. Great concerts have and will always stick with me.
That's true. That's true. That's true. No, I'm with you, but there's a lot of times I found, I don't know, man. I guess I look at concerts now, when you build up too much, it's like you want it, the thing you want the most. I want to go on that ride, or I want to go to that restaurant, or I want to meet that person. I want to do. This is the thing I have in my mind. I want to do this. I want to go to that show. I want to hear that music. I want to be front row at this thing, right? Whatever you put in your mind. And then when you get there, it's just, I've had experiences where the thing that you wanted most, like, it's kind of anticlimactic. So I'm not Buddhist. I mean, I'm chubby like Buddha, but I ain't a Buddhist. But I believe in that, like, the less you want.
I got soul, but I'm not a soldier. I got Buddha chub, but I'm not a Buddhist.
Not a Buddhist. Yeah, exactly. Look at these robes now. Look at these robes now. Did we just? We're going on tour, John. We're fuck. Hey, we got to get.
They're open now.
Live Nation and Ticketmaster, we get them on the line. We can fucking take this shit on the road, baby.
Hello, Live Ticket Nation Master.
The less you want, the less you are wanting, the less you can be shut down, disappointed. And so at that point, it's like, just don't want things. Just like, it comes, it goes, it is what it is. Like sands through the hourglass. These are the days of the Buddha.
But that's completely right. Well, the concerts I go into, it wasn't I need to beat these people. Like, you know, I was into they say collecting weird tricks, right? No, I was into like the classics. So any living great artist, a musician that I thought that I could get a ticket to, I did. So Simon
Neil
Garfunkel, Neil Young, Paul McCartney, Jody Mitchell.
Guar.
No, that's not his name. The
Joe
New York guy.
Joe Cocker, Billy Joel, Steve Perry,
Billy Joel, Bob Dylan. Tom Petty. I got
more Journey Psychos. Oh, you got Tom Petty? Like, that's a good one.
With the Heartbreakers. It was his first tour back with them after that huge break. No, like some iconic. It broke
my heart when they got back together. It was the whole thing. I was like, there's too many heartbreaks for these heartbreakers to heartbreak my heartbreak, baby.
That's pretty petty. That breaks my heart.
Look at this motherfucker. He came to play with his eye makeup and his goddamn Scottish. Oh, look at him.
Oh, down you go. Hey, maybe mute yourself a little bit there, my boy Pete. Holy crap. You're back?
Hey, I got excited. I pulled my headphones out. I was making fun of your goddamn beanie. Look at him. He's like, look at him. In the fucking Scottish Highlands, everybody wears all their green all the time. Again, John, it's St. Patty's Day. It ain't St. Scotty's Day.
They appreciate and support their brethren. And you know what? Let's jump into, speaking of St. Scotty's Day, accented answers, the lightning round. That's right.
Come on, I told you the last time we all talked that I was feeling a little bit unsure of everything. I needed to go to accent camp and you needed to go to engineering camp, and now you do this to me. So, all right. You know what?
You know,
John?
like myself, I feel you just need to be pushed back into the deep end. You are good at accents. You just need your
No, I just like my friend John, I need to be put in the deep end and weighted down with some big rocks, and just weighted the fuck down.
Hey, try on these cement shoes. Hey, they fit you pretty well. Now walk on water for me, you jerk off.
Is this how working works? Okay, John. Can we do a shot? I poured this all the way.
Let's get these messages. So let's pour your shot.
Yeah.
Let's get this.
No, I'm already ready. I had this for an hour and a half. I'm actively ready to drink.
All right, guys. Okay, so I'm about to lose reception for the next 4 hours, which means I'm going to have to love yous and leave yous. Have a good show. Have a good weekend. And I'm going to have to download my offline podcasts to listen to those instead. Won't be anywhere near as entertaining, but hey, we're going to do what we got to do. All right. Cheers, guys. Catch us.
Okay, like let me just say, I adore Mr. B. Like, he's a good fucking mate, but I'm also concerned. Like, where are you driving? That you are 4 hours driving on a normal Friday morning. Like, he's Friday, right?
Australia.
Yeah, but they don't have to. Yeah, but he doesn't have to. He's 4 hours. Where do you drive 4 hours? Like, where do you go in 4?
Well, from where I drive, wherever I would drive for 4 hours, that would be from Phoenix to LA to Vegas or to Mexico.
Yeah, but that's like, it's a goddamn Friday. He's alone in the car. He doesn't have anyone with him. You know he's coming back. Bro, I'm worried about you. I feel like when you're listening to this, just hear me out. If you don't tell us where you're going, we're going to send a drone strike after you.
That's
because
no drone,
two-sided,
not a strike.
Drone. No, not strike. We're going to be on strike for our drones. Our drones will be on. There it is. Our drones.
That will send some striking drones.
Right. Hell no, we want drone. Hell no, we want drone. And that's what they're going to say. And they'll be like, not until he gets to his destination. Giddy up, baby.
I feel like St. Scotty's Day would just be a day honoring Scottish Terriers. But
Right.
I'm not mad about it.
Me neither. No. Hey, laddie, if we get the Scotty Day, then we could have Skye Terrier Day. Oh, look at him. Oh, the Skye Terrier. That was, oh, look at him. He's a beautiful dog. He rolls over. Granted, he's wearing green, but nobody knows that he's a real Skye Terrier. They say Scotty just because he's wearing green. Like John L. Peacock's hat. Holy crap.
And as we shout out to Stereo, we're also shouting out to YouTube. We got Canada's Conundrum. Gentlemen, right back. Great to always hear
Cannabis
from you.
Conundrum.
Cannabis Conundrum.
That is, bro, everybody who's out there and anyone who's like on Stereo right now, pop into our two-sided podcast. If you hit that link, it's on YouTube. You can see John's horrible hat. You can see my disdain in my eyes. Also, you'll see the viewers there. Cannabis. I always want to say cannabis. Cannabis Conundrum. There's so many syllables, so little time. But Cannabis Conundrum, follow those guys on YouTube. Get their channel back. They're amazing people. They're here on Stereo as well. Our friend the Foxes, Mind Fox and Foxy Lady. Anyone who's out there, I promise you, it's a great listen. You will not regret it. If you do, you can email us at twosidedpod@gmail.com. That's TWO-sidedpod@gmail.com. And John will personally write you a handwritten apology letter for wasting your goddamn time. But it's not going to happen. But if you email us, John will write you a handwritten thank you letter because he's a very, very nice person.
I'm also left-handed. My handwriting is terrible, but I'll do it.
Yeah. I also am paralyzed from the neck up, neck down, left side over. Either way, I write with my feet. I'm trying to do this whole new Coco thing. I asked for a kitten. I'm petting it really far, but I'm eating apples and writing notes with my feet now. So,
speaking of Cannabis Conundrum, we got the Foxes themselves.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, yeah. What's up, Pete?
My man!
Dan?
Giddy up,
I
baby.
love the hat.
Hey, thanks, buddy.
Happy St. Patrick's Day, guys.
Happy St. Patty's.
Now, Mr. V probably is the guy who rides around and tells people to get back in their house, right? It is Australia, right?
That's right.
No.
So he's probably just on his 4-hour route.
Right.
He has to make people stay inside their house.
Right, hey, get on it. Hey, cats. I can't fucking grind nothing out here if you guys are out and about. So everybody fucking back in your fucking bungalows, out to the fucking outback. I'm going to go back and grind some fucking blades. All right, good on you. Also, look at me headphones. They're pretty nice.
So we've started the lightning round a while ago, but we haven't gotten into it. Accented answers. That's right. So I'm going to ask Pete some questions and give him an accent in which to...
Sorry. John, I feel like we're drinking more and excited more and having more fun time. So go ahead, John. I wanted that sound effect. So we're doing what now?
We already did the sound effect. I don't want to overdo it.
Yeah, no.
We'll cut that out. 3, 2, 1. I give Pete a question and the accent in which to answer, and he answers with that accent in mind. First question, are you ready, my boy Pete?
I do believe I am, John. I do believe I am.
Concerts or recorded music with friends in a Cockney English accent.
All right. I do believe that music with friends is more important than music in public because, yeah, they don't know nothing about nothing, right? There's nothing you fucking can't hear out there that your mates can't hear. Good on you.
I know it's not good, John. I wanted to go to summer camp, and you wouldn't let me. You made me go to this fucking lightning round. And now I'm just like going hard.
That's good, Gov. You got it.
All right, here we go. So, sometimes, Gov, with me mates, I love listening to great music in the fucking flat. Because if we go out in public, we have too few many points, you know what I mean? And things get a little fucking wonky and fucking tits and tails, you know what I mean? Right? And so we go back to the flat. Much better. All right? Good on you. And my friend from Australia said that.
Next question for concerts. What is your ideal situation in the Queen's English?
Oh, no. Well, a concert? John, I do believe what you mean is a live musical performance. Am I? My good sir. My favorite would be with a fine chair, nice company, a good crumpet, and a strong cup of tea. And maybe we listen to Queens of the Stone Age. Oh, I don't know.
Pip and all that.
Oh, good on.
For recorded music, the ideal platform, we're talking streams, CDs, records, etc., in a Scottish accent.
Oh, I can't do it, John. I've been looking at your hat and I've been very jealous. I realize that all of your music and all of your references come from the Stones Age. Queens of, don't mean to make the reference again, but everybody loves them. Here's the deal, John. I would have to say that I would prefer somebody play some vinyl for me. But in my own time, because these kilts don't dress themselves, our hats don't put them on by our owns. You know what I mean? So I would go streaming so I can playlist, Spotify, playlist, Spotify.
And Scottish Pete, what also is on Spotify?
No, well, the thing is, all of my great Neil Young, gone. I tried to listen. Joni Mitchell, love her. Fucking love her. Gone. However, there is this new lad, Joe Rogan, has some pretty interesting ideas about live music concerts. I don't know. Maybe give him a listen. See how it goes.
Hey, Scottish Pete, maybe other kind of podcasts that might be on Spotify? Anything else you listen to?
No, I would not listen to anything else. Literally, definitely not two-sided podcast. Definitely. The ginger guy with the fucking shillelagh and the shenanigans? Hell no. Oh, just because he has red hair doesn't mean he's one of us. Doesn't mean. Oh, but also, if you feel bad about this, you should email twosidedpod@gmail.com. That's TWO. sidedpod@gmail.com.
Hey, you can lead a horse to water. Anyway, final question.
But you can't make him drink. John, here's the deal. I found a horse. He was dead. I kept beating him. I said, get up. I kept beating him. I said, get up. Anyway, I got arrested for beating a dead horse, John. Go on with your questions.
Get out of the way, you mangy beast. Okay. Best concert moment or experience in an Irish accent. Or bro, if you will.
No, because now you're no. Don't put your fucking thing up. Don't put your fucking thing up, John.
Sure.
Because you say bro. Oh, Oh, look at your hat. There's a fine build hat. Look at his flat bill. Oh, it's a wee little big hat on a wee little man. That's what we say, bro. Oh, Southern California, no problem. But here in Dublin, we do it differently. Aye. What was the question, John?
That best concert moment or experience there, Irish Pete.
Oh, that was great. There I was backstage, right? And I saw Pink and she said, hey, look at you, you wee little man. I said, hey, how you going? Yeah, very good. Anyway, I walked off the transplants. They were eating potatoes. I said, oh, I know potatoes. And they said, you, sir, are a good man. And I said, I know. And they said, would you like to take a picture or be on stage and tour with us? I said, I can't. My wife and 18 kids are at home. Very angry I'm here. Anyway, happy St. Patty's Day, folks. Thanks for letting me on the show.
Hey, if you like what you're listening to, there is more Two-Sided out there. We're currently recording every episode of Two-Sided live on the Stereo app every Thursday starting at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, which is also live streamed on our YouTube channel, Two-Sided Podcast. We're on Instagram and Twitter, both at Two-Sided Pod, TWO side for pod, pod for both. And we have a Gmail for anyone to suggest topics for our Two-Sided shows or to come on to our Tuesday open chat stereo shows, twosidedpod@gmail.com. That's TWO sidedpod@gmail.com. And finally, we've gone viral. You can listen to Two-Sided on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, and elsewhere by searching Two-Sided. We'd love if you follow us on those platforms, subscribe, and hit that alert on YouTube, and follow us on Stereo if you haven't already. We thank you kindly.
Yeah, but we also don't thank you kindly. Now we don't want to thank you kindly. See, now I can't even get out of it. I see your hat, and I'm like, God damn you, John. But seriously, John, don't read the script. If you like what you heard, if you believe in anything you've seen, if you fear what you've felt spiritually in your soul, hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button.
Yeah.
Open your hearts. Open your wallets. Send us an email at twosidedpod. Hallelujah, John. If y'all need it, here's the deal. Folks, the Two-Sided Pod, they are here to send a message. Amen. Amen. Wow, no, not going there.
It doesn't hurt you, it only helps us. It doesn't hurt you, it only helps us.
Exactly. Praise Two-Sided Pod, praise Two-Sided Pod. Here we go. Did we win something?
Is Shillelaghs and Shenanigans the name of Two-Sided Pod across the pond? Because I think it should be.
It's actually when we go on tour down there.
That's right.
Sometimes when we
Shillelaghs and Shenanigans tour.
Yeah, and also that is what we demand in our writer. What do you want in your trailer? I want Shillelaghs and Shenanigans. And if I don't have them, I am not performing. It's like, whoa, well, you're very literal. You're aren't you? I am actively literal. No.
I can think of some podcasts on Spotify you can listen to, like, for instance, Awesome Sauce Radio. That's a good one.
See?
New episode coming out soon. Stay tuned. Hi, guys. How you doing? You look great tonight. Love your accent.
Girl,
Love
this whole thing, I didn't turn my blur on. I wanted everyone to see my kitchen. I cleaned it, and it's not clean. But also this. I look good. Thanks. It's the time change. It's not me. It's the lighting in the time change. Mainly, it's the time change.
Yeah. So let's get into our final segment of the night. What do you think?
Yeah. No, I'm having a great time with you, John, and I feel like that's probably the best thing to do is to end it on a high note, like George Costanza, leave him wanting more.
That's right.
Don't try to milk it and get more out of this Scottish bastard that I see all in green.
around me. Dante. Look at him. You need to post a picture of that. Let's do a shot. Can we do a shot? Folks, if you're here, if you like what you hear, but okay, you know what? Even if you don't like what you hear, if you hate the way that John is being treated, if you love his Dante goatee, if you think Scottish hats go with St. Patrick's Day, if all of the things, you should hit that subscribe and that like button and support him, because there's only one I in team, because I never learned to spell. So
I got a little Jameson for those who weren't here earlier in the episode. I got a little JMO for St. Patrick's Day. Pouring that for our shots. And Pete, what do you got?
I have a nice port reduction with a quail's egg. I've been watching Master Chef quite aggressively, but pretty much it's just Sailor Jerry, and we drink as much as we can to the dome piece whenever we can. Right. Okay, no, but after work, I don't drink till 3 p.m. Granted, I don't wash my glass either. Oh, that's a Buffalo. Nice. Cheers.
So good.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Okay. All right. Let's just do it, man. Do your thing. Hold on. Before we go on, John, I have to say, and this is, I know I am all about telling you, like, fucking don't pander. Don't fucking, hey, don't pander. I know
Don't scare him away. Don't scare him away, Pete.
Shh. Oh, these things are going to be fine. I just got to give a shout out to my girl, Mona Lisa. That's fucking the shit. Dope ass chick right there. Anyway, and enough said. No scaring. Shh. No one's listening. Shh. John, go. Shh.
Great. So today, in honor of the day, and just because I wanted to, we are going to talk about St. Patrick's Day, the history of and how it became so popular in the United States. I want to start out with a personal story. I was very blessed to teach at St. John's University in Queens, New York, for a number of years. It is obviously a Catholic-driven private university, but very progressive in many wonderful ways. They allowed me to teach my own curriculum. There was no forced religious aspects to the students' curriculum, et cetera, et cetera. I got to... my boy Pete has just returned with a gnome's hat.
No. It's a natural hat from Switzerland that I got traveling. The Swiss also support the Irish, and if you're going to wear a Scotland's hat, I'm going to wear a hat from the Swiss Alps.
That they do. And so I was very honored to walk in the New York St. Patrick's Day Parade, the oldest American parade, continuous parade in America. At that point, it was the 250th, I believe it's about 260 now, anniversary.
So clarify, because the English language is very difficult. Not continuous parade. It's not still going. It's not Hands Across America. They don't keep walking.
It is. Oh, no, they keep walking.
Are they still walking?
Today, right now.
And the flame goes on. The flame goes on. There's a Wheeze commercial somewhere about that.
Olympic style.
It's very good. Yeah.
Don't let the flame go out. And in that parade, would you believe it, there were many a kilt worn by many an old Scots and Irishmen, because both Scots and Irishmen do wear kilts, and it is very proudly proclaimed. And I did it for 3 years, and it's a wonderful thing. So I love my Irish heritage. I got myself a little Guinness. Every time I go to Dublin, I get that Guinness. And and you know,
no, God damn, John, come on, man. That's one of the things you have to know about broadcasting on YouTube. You never stand up to just randomly show your crotch, because okay, you want to fight the kilt, but you're wearing a no, John. You found old men in a parade that you like. I identify with old people who don't have any style or knowledge about the day-to-day. It's like, those are my people. Nope, John. Wow. No. You got to understand, John. You actively have to understand.
For those not watching at home, John L. is just put up to reveal a kilt. And
No, you drungo. No. I don't care if the people are watching at home. The shit that you just did is now forever on YouTube, you stupid son of a bitch. Like, I'm trying to help you. Like, and the thing is, I'm the worried about getting canceled. Like, I think we saw a testicle. I'm pretty sure.
A testicle.
Oh, did you have them removed? You castrati? No, I'm asking.
You know this.
Well, the Vienna's Boys Choir and myself are going to move on to our next episode. Our next. Oh yeah. The Swiss were very. Oh, I can't do a Swiss. What's a Swiss accent? I got German. What do you want? What do you need from me? Swiss.
Dirty.
No, that's he. Oh no. Sometimes we see a John's kill testicles, but no, in the summertime. See, I can't do it. John, if you guys send us donations to our P.O. box at twosidedpod@gmail.com, that's TWOsidedpod@gmail.com, that's our P.O. box address on the internet, and you send us Venmo money, we will have enough money to send John to engineering camp and me to accent camp, and we will come back a better people.
That's right.
A better Swissman. Swiss.
That's right.
I'll be practically an army knife of the Swiss. And John will.
You'll be Swissonian.
Swissonian? He's in a museum somewhere. He's very. Oh yeah, but it's only in very cold parts of Switzerland. Yeah. Would you like a chocolate or a knife?
How about a watch?
Oh yeah! Oh.
We Canadians love to come here, eh?
God damn it, man! See? Fuck you, John. I go.
You have the accents. Your brain is just so addled that they get Swiss cheese into. Hey, I'm gonna do Russian. Hi, I'm a Russian man.
Sometimes it's like slow molasses just running off a spoon when you're Russian. Sometimes Mama said,
I am Australian. Yeah, it's good.
No, the Australians in the outback will never accept me when I ride the kangaroo through the boomerang travel forest name.
Ich bin ein Berliner.
Ich bin ein Donut. Sounds delicious right now.
Don't mind if I do not.
No, he'll sound like a fucking see. If I had gone to school, if I had gone to camp, if we had paid for it instead of you supporting your trip across to Michigan to do this fiddly-dee, shouldn't have been working today thing. We could have had the money to send me to camp, to you to engineering school. I could have had a good New England accent. I could have then gone to ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for the Two-Sided Podcast.
Hey, listen, even Eddie Izzard said that his Kennedy was just a James Cagney accent. So, you can't win them all.
No, exactly, bro. You come, you go. But I think I would have learned that lesson at camp if we had gone there.
That's right. We got MFA and Mona Lisa. I want to get those before we jump into the segment.
Yeah. My girls. Yeah. I'm so glad.
Hey, John.
I see that your legs are as white as mine.
I'd like to say
Good
there's
Lord.
dogs, but
Jeez.
Look at
You
him.
wearing white tights? No, bitch. That's my fucking skin.
Yeah.
The kid looks amazing.
No, that bullshit. That's not even white. That's you can see John. I have to make jokes now, but I have to preface by John. Don't stand up and show anyone what I'm saying. They're not white. You can see through. It's like, oh look, do you like veins and bone and blood vessels? That is a John leg.
is your favorite color translucent? Then this is going to be easy.
Yeah. I differ between clear and rainbow. I'm not sure which one I like more, but I differ between the two. Pretty good, Mona Lisa. Fucking, she's dope as shit.
I'm drinking
Hell yeah.
mango strawberry.
Oh shit.
Did you say that John showed his testicle?
It's bro, I adore her because of sound effects. Like she's chilling in her fucking pad on speakerphone and pouring a cocktail.
That's right.
And Moscato is one of the shits that I can drink, and it's peach and it's delicious. And she's
with the
listening
smooth
to
tunes.
Yeah, and then you don't have a ginger in a Scotsman kilt yelling about mood tunes at you, so it must be a lot more pleasant than what I'm dealing with.
Anyway, your Kennedy sounds just like Morgan Freeman somehow.
There you go.
Wait, what? Sounds like a Morgan Freeman?
Your Kennedy.
Mock. Oh, wow. Okay, now I need to listen to that. I need to record that.
Better than James Cagney.
Way better, because now it's like if I can figure out if that true. Because bro, okay, so hear me out, right?
Yeah.
And this is like, dude, we're doing craftsmanship work right now. We're doing specific, like, folks. This is where the rubber meets the road, and you're seeing what happens, how the sausage gets made. You know how like your voice sounds different. Like me talking to you, I hear myself, but then I record myself, and it's like, oh wow, you sound actively like you're missing a chromosome. Like you have issues, Pete. Like what is going on? So accents, like sometimes like, oh, you fucking nailed it. I'm like, yeah, no, it's nothing like you think it sounds like. And so I need to listen to those instead of just do them. Right. Because generally broad stuff, I'm not even just, it's broad, right? But John, I need to record because if I have some kind of a Morgan Freeman shit happening, I need to capitalize and hit that gas. I could be God in the next podcast. In the Chuck and Linda Christ.
I shit you not, I am also translucent. You can see every vein in my body. It's ridiculous.
That's awesome. So you two are the people when we're on tour and we're flying around for the two-sided pod tour.
Right.
And it's like, all right, my boy Pete, can you come through the security gate? John and MFA, we're just going to look at you because we're pretty sure there's nothing inside of any of you. We can see through you. It makes me nervous. It makes me nervous that your heart is beating so rapidly. But please step through because I'm unfortunately uncomfortable.
Listen, we want to get to this segment, so we're going to hit these last.
No, we're gonna. Yeah, let's do a segment, John. I've been here for a minute. Let's do a show, John.
If you become a sustaining member of Two-Sided Pod, at a minimum of $10 a month, you'll get a Two-Sided Pod T-shirt and a picture of John's right testicle. Call now. Operators are standing by.
Also, the left testicle is standing by if you spend $20. No, but truly, never show a kilt on a chair. That's never a good idea, John. Because truly, all I have to say is if you like, no, I'm wearing shorts or pants or underwear, like you're not a goddamn true supporter of the Scots culture.
And it truly was the Shawshank Redemption.
And that's why Brooksy came up. He wrote his name on the blackboard.
That actually is the perfect transition because, hey, why do they call you Red? Well, I suppose because I'm Irish. St. Patrick's Day, ladies and gentlemen.
I literally am not sure how that's the perfect transition, and you're very happy with yourself, which makes me very much more upset. So I don't understand what's going on, and you're got one over on you. Happy St. Patrick's Day. We understand. Happy Scotsman's Day to you, John. Happy Swedish. Swiss. Happy Swiss, not Swede.
You got it. Yeah, you got it. It's because I said the Swedish chef.
Donka. I just can't. I just have the hats and the memories. I don't have the accents. I didn't spend enough time there.
St. Patrick's Day is celebrated annually on March 17th, the anniversary of his death in the 5th century. St. Patrick's Day,
his death, St. Patrick, the death of St. Patrick. See?
Yeah, that's right.
Right. I'm going to help you clarify because you get very excited when you're reading stuff. So I'll challenge you to quiet down and let me clarify.
That's right.
Go ahead.
The Irish have observed this day as a religious holiday for over 1,000 years. On St. Patrick's Day, which falls during the Christian season of Lent, Irish families would traditionally attend church in the morning and celebrate in the afternoon. Lenten prohibitions against the consumption of meat, they were waived, and the people would dance, drink, and feast on the traditional meal of Irish bacon and cabbage.
Right, which is Irish bacon, which the translation is corned beef, where you brine a beef and a beef in that, and then it's brined beef. That's the Irish bacon.
Yeah, no, it's not, but we'll get to that.
You know what, John? I'm just trying to get through the things because I just, you know what? And actively, no one knew it, but John is actually an alien, and he ate his conjoined brother at a. I'm just trying to get. That's alternate facts, John. Don't believe what you hear and see. Believe me.
You're like, no, I got this. You're like, no. Let me.
Yeah, but right.
We'll get there.
No, we're going to get there, but I need you to get there faster without a hat that's misleading, misrepresenting, misdoing everything, Dante. You shouldn't even be at work today. You shouldn't even be here today, John.
St. Patrick was born Mewin Succat, but changed his name to Patricius, Patrick, and lived during the 5th century. He was a patron saint of Ireland and its national apostle. Born in Roman Britain, he was kidnapped and brought to Ireland as a slave at the age of 16. He escaped to a monastery in Gaul, which is France, and converted to Christianity at that time. He went back to Ireland in 432 AD as a missionary. While Christianity had already taken hold in the country, tradition has it that Patrick confronted the Druids at Tara and abolished their pagan rites, making Christianity more widespread. Patrick became a bishop, and after his death was named Ireland's patron saint. By the time of his death, on March 17th, 461, he had established monasteries, churches, and schools.
All right, so where should we start, John? Where should I start picking your shit apart? Where should I start inserting my opinions and my naysaying and my angry thought processes? Let's start here.
Yeah, I've said earlier more than later because later it's just like, oh, okay, well, yeah. This is the early stuff, so go for it.
No. Oh, do I have your permission?
Yes, you do.
Perfect. You know what? Sometimes you can't start a fucking fight down here on the beautiful Emerald Isle unless they invite you in. When they invite you in, then you fuck with them real good, like.
That's right.
So, see, and then I start on these ramps and rampants and.
So a Roman Britain-born person was brought to Ireland as a slave, escaped, or was given over to the monastery of Gaul in France, converted to Christianity, later came back as a missionary and converted, but also didn't just convert. Like several missionaries had already done that, but what he did was abolish a whole lot of the pagan, quote unquote, pagan druid religions.
There it is. Okay, that's what we need. Oh, there's a catch point. Okay, so great, because winners write history.
That's right.
Fucking. Okay, there's a patron saint, Saint Patrick. Oh, everybody loves him. He converted. He drove out the pagans. He drove out the snakes. Snakes being a metaphor for the pagans.
That's right.
Fuck you, Saint Patrick, John C. Because the pagans, as we know and love today, I don't know if you've been to any local charcuterie market or bakery. They're employing all the pagans we know. I don't know where you live, but people who are Wiccan, people who are, you see them. Like I see them now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying they all are bakers, but I know 2 Wiccans. Anyway, that's neither here nor there, John. Neither here nor there. I'm just saying that this is the history that was written, and you drove out people who were pagans because they didn't believe the same thing you believed, and you had this aura about you that
straight up very charismatic, I'm sure. Right.
I know, it's like the two-sided pod at gmail.com, TWO-sided pod at gmail.com. Because if you like charisma, if you like fun, well, you're in the wrong goddamn place. The less you know.
In the centuries following Patrick's death, believed to have been March 17th, 641, not 1641, the mythology surrounding his life became even more ingrained in Irish culture. The most well-known legend of St. Patrick's are that he drove the snakes out of Ireland, which, as we now know, was very much a metaphor for driving the pagan beliefs and major authorities out of Ireland, paving the way for the Catholic way, which was the major dominant religion of Ireland.
Wow. Be careful. Okay, go ahead. No, as long as you're telling facts, just tell facts.
And going back to Belfast, we know that clashed with the Protestant UK religion, and that's an earlier episode. So if you'd like to listen to that, listen to our Belfast episode just 2 weeks before. So that's a major aspect of his patronage of the people of Ireland. He also was known for explaining the Holy Trinity, the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost, using the 3 leaves of the native Irish clover, the shamrock. And so he would use that to see to show how they were 1, but also 3.
Okay, so he would use that,
right? Because the Trinity's a hard concept to get.
John, you would use a 3-leaf clover. I'm asking you a question to clarify, because our whole thing now, find a 3-leaf clover. I've searched since I was a child. I've never found one. I've seen one on eBay.
No, you're talking about 4-leaf clovers.
No,
that's different. The shamrock is the common one, which is the 3-leaf clover.
Oh, because
and when you find a 4-leaf clover, that's the good luck one. That's the one you're referring to.
Right. No, that's the one. Yeah. No, I had. That's the cow that actually won the race. It was tattooed with a 4-leaf clover at the state fair. You're right. I apologize.
Over a 4-leaf clover.
Right. Okay. Good on you. Because I was looking at the Holy Trinity.
as the fucking the onions, the bell peppers, and the celery. And I was like, yeah. Hey, here's the deal. This is what the Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost mean to me. It's like a little bell pepper. It's a little fucking celery. Hey, don't forget about the onion. And you kiss it. And once that starts going, then you can throw in the garlic. You get a little fucking chicken stock. Hey, beautiful Trinity. You're welcome.
It's something bland and crunchy, something possibly hazardous to your health, and something that makes you cry. Hey, the Trinity.
Hey, that's the two-sided pod. Something bland, something crunchy, something that makes you cry. Welcome to this translucent motherfucker and this angry, hairy son of a bitch. Let's party, bitches.
The day was first established in 1631 as a modest religious holiday and honoring Ireland's patron saints. Because it fell right in the middle of Lent, people began using it as a reason to celebrate and take a break from the restraints and abstinences of the period leading up to Easter. However, it actually didn't become a public holiday in Ireland until 1904.
1904? Here's the deal. I've been taking a break every time there's been a Lent, every year. And there hasn't been a public holiday. This is fucking crazy weird. Laddie, look at you, sir. My friend, the Scotsman.
Aye.
Could you tell me, how is this Lent happening around here? What is this? I've been breaking for weeks all the time, for years and years, and now it's a public holiday. You bring your hat to my town? What is this all about?
Well, now that you mention it, how does the holiday become a holiday when it was already a holiday? Well, now that you mention it, I don't know.
And folks, and that was the best you'll ever get from any of us. And I hope and I pray that you've learned your lesson from listening to Two-Sided Pod at gmail.com. And if you like what you've heard, and if you hear John's eye makeup and his dress, hit that subscribe, hit that like. Don't be afraid to broach that alert button, because we're here for you. And the only way forward is straight on through to the other side.
I'm sorry, everybody. I'm so sorry. So my boy Pete is somehow under the delusion that the name of our podcast is twosidedpod at gmail.com. That is not the name of our podcast.
No, it's
but every time he refers to the name of our podcast, he just tells us, we have that email. You could Gmail us right now. Do it. Do it. We have an email called twosidedpod at gmail.com, but that is not the name of our podcast.
We're opening for our favorite band, Fart Sandwich, at outlook.org. It's going to be great. They're a little heavy metal, a little stinky for us, but we're more into reggae and hip hop. So, John, I'm just picking up what you're putting down. I have no idea what's happening. You're the worst engineer ever, and I'm trying to fill gaps, baby. I adore you. I love you. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Happy birthday, Griff, if you're out there. If you're not, may God have mercy on your soul.
Boston held its first St. Patrick's Day celebration in 1737, followed by New York City in 1762. Homesick Irish soldiers serving in the English military marched in New York City on March 17th, 1772, to honor the Irish patron saint. This has become the touchstone of the first St. Patrick's Day parade, though celebrations were happening earlier.
1772?
And New York actually says it has the oldest parade even over any place in Ireland, even over Dublin.
That's unfortunately to me, like, which is, I mean, because we had the immigrants, we had when there was people coming over on Ellis Island and that whole process. So we did have great, like, in Ireland was one of the big, Italy and like all the.
And I have more about that. Yep, totally.
which was great. But my first reaction, my knee-jerk reaction, was like, John, I'm learning. John, folks, if you'd like to see a person learn, if you're interested in understanding how growth can happen, well, you're in for the greatest podcast of your life. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, because my knee-jerk reaction was going to say, like, yeah, what the fuck's their problem? Like, oh, but why didn't they have those things over in Ireland? Because it didn't mean shit to them. And like, oh, it's like Cinco de Mayo is big for us in U.S. or Southern California, but in Mexico it's not.
Right.
Okay, it's like, are we just looking for a drink? Right. Are we looking for ideas to just party and drink? Like, oh, no. But I had to take a step back because I understand at that point, as far as St. Patrick's Day, it was the immigration.
Yep.
A give and a take. Well, I mean, it depends on which side you're looking at, John.
They emigrated into immigrating.
Exactly. Right. See? Thanks for using all the vowels that I proffered in the previous sentence.
But here's a little known fact or interesting discovery. Historian Michael Francis, however, unearthed evidence that St. Augustine, Florida, may have hosted America's first St. Patrick's Day celebration. While researching Spanish gunpowder expenditure logs, Francis found records that indicate cannon blasts or gunfire were used to honor the saint in 1600, and that residents of the Spanish garrison town proceeded through the streets in honor of St. Patrick the following March, 1601, perhaps led by the Irish priest living there, Vicar Ricardo Artur.
Yeah, but you said 16 to 1601 because you were talking about. Oh no, never mind. That was 641, not 1641. You got so many numbers, John. The thing is, I write notes, I listen, I hear. You make me drink. I understand. I'm a learned person, not as educated as you, not as ginger-haired, not as qualified, not as prepared, John. However, I think, well, we've lost two people now, and I feel like I'll stop talking because they need you to talk more, but I appreciate the shit out of you. And may God have mercy on your soul. Continue.
So the rising popularity of St. Patrick's Day in America was mainly contributed to after Irish Catholics flooded into the country in the decade following the failure of Ireland's potato crop in 1845, the potato famine. They clung to their Irish identities and took this to the streets in St. Patrick's Day parades to show strength in numbers as political retorts to nativist know-nothings. Quote, many who were forced to leave Ireland during the Great Hunger brought a lot of memories, but they didn't have their country. So it was a celebration of being Irish, says Mike McCormick, national historian for the Ancient Order of the Hyperions. But there was also a bit of defiance because of the bigotry by the know-nothings against them. McCormack says attitudes towards the Irish began to soften after tens of thousands served in the Civil War.
Right, but now because you're now putting terms out because a lot of people won't know what the know-nothings are. Know-nothings were a political party, and that's a whole different thing. Like, and you're hijacking all of my jokes, John, because you make a lot of good, like, set up. Like, all right, I'm gonna let him finish, and I'm gonna give these fucking punchlines. And he's like, but the know-nothing's like, we gotta clarify what the fuck you're talking about.
Right.
No, because I was gonna give a lot of far and away comments. I was gonna, like, you know what? That's the thing. It's like we faced a lot of problems before me and Tom Cruise went to that boxing arena. He's a small man, but I bet on him. And then me and Nicole, we found our own plot of land. Just hide here with your flag, John. Great movie.
Right.
Do you want to clarify to our friends and countrymen what the know nothings were and why that was specific to them? John?
If you look at the movie Gangs of New York, they have a great showing of what this class war was. It was mostly Italian Americans who had been there a generation or two before, who were pushing against the Irish immigrants. There were signs that said Irish need not apply when they had hiring signs in bars and restaurants and butcheries and other places, or no dogs or Irish allowed, literally in places, in establishments. Yeah.
Right. Okay, good. So it was a specific kind of anti-immigrant. It was the fun, great stuff that we have now, this broad racism. That was a thing of the past. We were very specific. We had at least our goals and ambitions. Like, I hate people with 6 toes.
Right.
I only hate people that smell like ketchup after they bathe.
Hazel eyes? No, sir.
Whoa, John, that's too specific for me. I want things you can't control, or maybe can, or not. Either way, you're not welcome here. You left-handed eating. You're not left-handed. I know you eat left-handed, motherfucker.
So
see,
this was a big shift because they'd had those signs, and then with the Civil War. Quote, they went out as second-class citizens but came back as heroes, he says. The Irish slowly assimilated into American culture. Those without Celtic blood began to join in St. Patrick's Day celebrations.
Yeah, so again, how many people don't have any Hispanic blood, but they love Cinco de Mayo? Yeah, everybody likes to party. Here we go. Nobody's St. Patty's. Hey, Scotty, nice hat. You like to party? That's what he's saying, is you are a drungo biting onto the society of someone else's culture, is what he was saying, John. I'm going to break that down for you.
The modern form of St. Patrick's Day celebrations, not talking about people going to the bars and getting drunk, but the established forms, the parades, the official celebrations,
the meat, the cooking, the ongoing parade that's all been going for the last 150 years.
All Irish Americans, right? Those were the true, like, longing and celebrating their homeland and their culture.
I'm with you. Go ahead.
Right. So the meal, this is going back to something you said earlier, the meal that became a St. Patrick's Day staple across the country, corned beef
the
and
Irish
cabbage.
Bacon, but you're saying the Irish bacon previously.
Right.
Go ahead.
Right. It's not Irish bacon. Corned beef and cabbage was also an American innovation. While ham, Irish bacon, ham, and cabbage was eaten in Ireland, corned beef proved a cheaper substitute for impoverished immigrants. McCormick says corned beef became a staple of Irish Americans living in the slums of Lower Manhattan who purchased leftover provisions from ships returning from the tea trade in China. Quote, when ships came into South Street Seaport, many women would run down to the port hoping that there was leftover salted beef that they could get from the ship's cook for a penny a pound, McCormick says. It was the cheapest meat they could find. The Irish would boil the beef 3 times, the last time with cabbage, to remove some of the brine. And so in Ireland, it was what we call Irish bacon. It's commonly thought of as ham, like Canadian bacon. But here in America, that's where the corned beef and cabbage tradition came from.
Yeah, that's what I said. And you're like, nope, you're wrong. You're the worst.
You were saying that that Irish bacon is corned beef. You try to say that Irish bacon is corned beef. They're not one and the same.
No, 100%. You also said that you're wearing a Scottish hat and a goddamn kilt on St. Patrick's Day, and you think that's correct. That's not correct either. So we are both incorrect in our approach to life. How about we just appreciate each other's differences?
So that's a bit of the history. We're going to go into a little bit more of the modern St. Patrick's Day and send some messages.
Right now?
Yeah.
Oh, play the message. Yeah, no. I just don't know what you have, like a 5-parter of 6-parters of all the things. I don't know what you're doing.
Dudes, Dr. Pete is in the house. Everybody give a shout out to Dr. Pete. If you don't already follow that fucker, you need to, because we all need somebody to make sense of our crazy, right?
See, baby. See, man. I got a lot of nonsense to spout, but I got some gems popped in there. And if you can sift through the nonsense, I promise you the gems are worth it. And if they're not, then you'll get your money back. And if you send an email to twosidedpod@gmail.com, that's TWO-sidedpod@gmail.com, John Hill Peacock will personally reimburse you whatever timing and emotional things you have given to us. And I'm going to go ahead, but we will negotiate. Like, you owe me $50. Like, it was not that funny. You didn't waste that much time. We'll give you 9.
This was amazing podcast. You guys are amazing. I loved you from the beginning to the very end. It was awesome. That's right. I'm the Dr. Pete the Black Irish.
My man. My man.
Terms. But until I smoke a blunt for St. Patty's, I roll my blunts in 4-leaf clovers, don't you know? It's good to be with you. Happy St. Patty's.
My man, Dr. Pete. Okay, because he said black, and I've been like 3 seasons of Ray Donovan. I know who the Black Irish is. Come on, he's a fucking Donovan. Hey, look at him, fucking Black Irish. Look at this guy. Thanks, Dr. Pete, man. Appreciate it. Cheers, brother. Can we do a shot before you go into more about things that made the wig party collapse?
If St. Patrick's Day is on a full moon, it is a full moon tonight, guys. It's starting to look beautiful. I'm outside grilling potatoes on the grill. Yeah, I grill my potatoes. What?
We are actually drinking some more Steiners and having corned beef and cabbage with grilled potatoes, carrots, and onions, and sweet corn.
Guys.
Ooh, yummy stuff.
Hell yeah. I'm waiting for my neighbor. She's making corned beef and cabbage and said she'd give me some, and I'm going to go knock on the door as soon as this is done. Like you, it's going to be late. I don't care. I mean, it's friendship.
Little known fact, it's also St. Gertrude's Day today. Do you know what she is the patron saint of?
So
birds. Birds with little feathers and long tails. Gertrude, you know.
I feel that. I would say Gertrude. Nagy.
Dr. Seuss? Nothing? Dr. Seuss?
No. I'm with you, Dr. Seuss, but a name like Gertrude?
Hey, John, did you know that the fucking garbage is not cats?
Same thing.
John, did you take the litter? Did you take the litter box out, John? John, the cat's rubbing his ass on the floor, John. Gertrude, John.
I'm gonna scratch. Hello. I'm gonna scratch your couch and then lick myself.
Hey, John, I called 3 times. I'm leaving a message here. This is Gertrude, your wife, John. The cats are rubbing his asses all over the couch, and I need you to, John, the patron saint of nagging and cats.
Walt St. Patrick's Day evolved in the 20th century into a party day for Americans of all ethnicities. As my boy Pete has been talking about the whole time, the celebration in Ireland remained solemn. The Cogonagh Telegraph.
Wow. Does everyone want to take a small breath? John, you want to take a step back and try to approach that one again? Because you try to glance over it, and I won't allow it. I've been watching a lot of MasterChef, and I won't allow this, John. I won't allow the telegraph.
The Connacht Telegraph reported of Ireland's commemorations on March 17th, 1952. St. Patrick's Day was very much like any other day, only duller, end quote. For decades, Irish laws prohibited pubs from opening on holy days, such as March 17th. Until 1961, the only legal place to get a drink in the Irish capital of Dublin, which is Dublin, on St. Patrick's Day, was the Royal Dublin Dog Show, which naturally attracted those with only a passing canine interest. The party atmosphere only spread to Ireland after the arrival of television, when the Irish could see all the fun being had across the ocean.
Dogs, yeah? Dags? You like dags?
Oh, dogs. Yeah, I like dags. I like caravans more.
And ladies and gentlemen, that has been a bad scene of a movie instead of just accent work. Welcome to the Scottish podcast with John's hat.
Modern Ireland, quote, modern Ireland took a cue from America, end quote, McCormick says. The multi-day St. Patrick's Day Festival, first in Dublin only in 1996. 1996 now attracts 1 million people yearly.
Bro, it's the same thing. Okay, so basically what that is, it's like people who wanted to go to the Amsterdam, the 420 Fest in Amsterdam, and it's like that's not, they didn't, or no, Oktoberfest. Like, oh, let's go to October. It's like, it's not in October.
Right.
It's not. September. Right. It's what we put onto your thing, and like, okie dokie. We're like, I guess we'll do it for them. and they kind of, but it's not their thing, and we just, okay, you got. Oh, you like St. Patrick's Day? Oh, do you? Oh, do you like Scottish hats? Well, here's two for you. Look at him. He's wearing it now. Also, we'll give him a didgeridoo and a bagpipe and see which one he goes for. Look at him. Oh, look. It's a twofer. He's wearing the fucking kilt and playing the bagpipe. We'll never know who he really is.
Since 1962, Chicago has colored its river green to mark the holiday. Although blue was a color traditionally associated with St. Patrick, green is now commonly connected with the day. Irish and non-Irish alike commonly participate in the wearing of green, sporting an item of green clothing or shamrock, the Irish national plant, in its lapel. Corned beef and cabbage are associated with the holiday, and even beer is sometimes dyed green to celebrate the day. Although some of these practices eventually were adapted by the Irish themselves, they so largely were for the benefit of tourists, exactly like you're talking about.
Correct. And that's the thing, is like, yeah, lean in. It's not specific to the culture. It's not a big thing about the culture. Granted, right. if you want to have a blue shit in the morning, drink a lot of green beer. Drink a lot of green beer, and like, but you know, here's the deal: when you go to the bar, if you're one of those drungos who has to go out to the bar and drink on St. Patty's Day, you don't have to wait for the beer to be green. You can say like, all right, give me a vodka tonic, make that shit green. And you can poop blue in the morning too, and be drunk like a goddamn adult that night. It's a twofer.
And I believe you agree with me on this. Of the holidays in America that we would call the amateur holidays, the
the baby step holidays, the training wheel holidays.
Right. Yeah. This is one of them.
It's a big one. St. Pat, like my biggest two that I cannot and will not go out in public. St. Patty's and Cinco de Mayo. It's just
exactly.
It's
and
amateur
New Year's. Those are the ones for me.
Oh no, but that's But on the opposite side, if you're single, go out on Valentine's Day and have a cocktail by yourself, because you will be okay. That's a whole nother show.
So it's not just Ireland and America that celebrate, though. In Russia, a week-long festival celebration of Irish culture takes place in Moscow, with a film festival being one of the centerpieces. This is something, like, I brought it in because I'd like us to look into it. Did that happen this year? Given celebrations also take place in Australia, Dubai, and South Korea, it seems St. Patrick's Day is one of Ireland's biggest and most successful exports.
Wow, 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 and wow. That not only you fucking bluffed me for 4 great accents, but 2, you finished it up with saying this was their great export, where we realized they did not do this. We bastardized it and raped it from them, and they don't make profits from it. So, John, you missed on 1, 2, 3, 4. No, 5. 5 levels. No, because see, and I can't even remember. Read your thing again. Just read your goddamn thing, and let me just give me space. Read your thing. Just read
what
your
I just said.
The thing you read previously that did not give me any space to talk. Read that again.
Are you talking about right now, or the early one that you were like, "Hey, you plowed through that"?
No, I'm literally talking about. No, I'm talking about in lightning round number 1, where you're the worst, actively the worst person. And the thing is, folks, even if we could figure it out now, the moment is gone. That is how we work. John?
So when discussing the event in an informal setting, you will sometimes hear St. Paddy's Day or St. Patty's Day, but only one of these is correct. The name Paddy, P-A-D-D-Y, comes from the name Padraig, which is the Irish way of saying Patrick. However, Patty, P-A-T-T-Y, refers to the name Patricia. Hence, St. Paddy's Day is the only correct name of this holiday.
Right, and which reminds me, you guys have seen Paddy the Batty in the UFC. Super badass. The guy has a weird bowl haircut and fucks shit up. Right? He's Irish. He doesn't fuck around. Here he comes, Paddy the Batty. Oh, yeah, you'll love him. Look at him. And my friend John L. Peacock is the, because now it's just, listen, now we're all Scottish. Fuck! John, go ahead. God damn it, man.
The sources for this episode of Two Sided have been the first segment, RollingStone.com, CNBC, New York Times, LiveForLiveMusic.com, WHYY.org, CBC.ca, because that's Canada, and MusicWeek.com. For the fun, Britannica.com, History, ThePioneerWoman.com, and GPD.org, along with Marca and the BBC.
Awesome, folks. Give it up for John. My references from this has been Mad Magazine 1982, episode 4, where you fold the photo and it looks like him peeing on a snowman. Otherwise, it's a nice Olympic ski run. Shout out to Olympics. Also, the Irish-Scottish flag, which is not the same. The one, just because they're close to each other, doesn't mean they're the same, John. It's just like, hey, you are raping Cinco de Mayo the way that we rape St. Patty's Day, and switch that out. Hey, America takes Cinco de Mayo like Scotland takes St. Patty's Day, John. And you are part of the problem.
So, my boy Pete, is there anything from this episode that you want to take a second look at, a second glance, a second opinion, a second guess? This is my boy Pete's Retraction Corner.
No retraction. I would like to take a second run and a more aggressive stance at building a giant trebuchet to knock down the wall that is the John L. Peacock in front of me. It's not a catapult. I'm a grown man, and I grew up during the French Revolution. It's a trebuchet. Here's the deal, John. I need to do more research about. Nope, I don't need to do any research because fuck that shit. You should not be wearing Scottish shit and kilts for St. Paddy's Day. Even if they're like, yeah, we do it. It's the same thing. It's like, oh, Boxing Day? Oh, we love Canada. Let's do Boxing Day. Let's dress up like Canadians, like with mooses and fucking twofers and fucking, look at this, eh? No, it doesn't be. I live near these guys and they're doing this thing so I can dress in my favorite colors, John? No, and no, John. That's appropriation. No, we're not. That's appropriation, and we will not stand for it. Because John, hey, Dante, I know you shouldn't be here today. Look at that fucking goatee. No. Appropriation. Our culture. Our shamrock. Our emerald owl.
I do love the Scottish motto, fuck around and find out. I know it's St. Paddy's Day, but you got the Scottish kilt on, so I love their motto. It's amazing.
If it's nay Scottish, it's crap.
Here, you come down to somewhere in Eastern Europe. Yugoslavia is no problem. We also celebrate St. Patrick's Day. It's very, very good. Hey, I wear my favorite coat. Hey, it's like, hey. It's very Irish. Am I right? Very good.
Well, thanks for listening, everybody. We have our open chat show on stereo every Tuesday, same start time as tonight. So if you'd like to join us or you want to throw some topics out there, email twosidedpod@gmail.com. That's TWO sidedpod@gmail.com. And remember to join us on the stereo app in our green room right now. In 5 minutes, we're going to go 30 after the hour for our after show wind down. That's a wrap for tonight. I'm John L. Peacock out in the Dirty Mitten.
And I'm my boy Pete, here to appropriate any goddamn culture that John doesn't already do already with his goddamn Scottish culture appropriation in Southern California.
And this was our show. You can listen to our shows wherever you get your podcasts, and you can also listen live on our YouTube channel, Two Sided Podcast, and on the stereo app, looking for My Boy Pete or John L. Peacock every Thursday, 5 a.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, as we talk about the two sides of life, the fun and the serious, here on Two Sided.
You'll never find me. You can't find me on the podcasts.
I love you, Pete.
Good on you, mate. Oh, now I don't. Right, and that's how the world ends.